Yes, you did. I remember you.
LaMonica, it's awesome to have you back. We spoke 1883, 1882. It was one of the years of
Yeah, some years back.
yeah,
Yep.
man, it's awesome to have all three of you here. So individually, how are you all doing?
It's a good day.
It's a
Yeah.
good day. Yeah.
Really good day. We're excited.
Well, first of all, man, congratulations to all of you on the release of Man of War. Last time I spoke to Daniel, actually, he told me this film was going to be extremely good, and he did not lie. The film delivered everything I wanted and more. Um, so starting with LaMonica, what drew you to Man of War?
First of all, it was working with Will again. And we had just worked together on Osiris, and I loved working with him. Great collab partner. And then he sent me the script, and when I read the script, I'm like, don't give this to anybody else. Like, I need to be this guy. Like, that opportunity doesn't come around very, very often. So the words were good, the action was great, the story was amazing, and the other characters. And when you start seeing how the cast is unfolding, who's being cast in certain roles, then you start realizing like this is going to be a special one. And yeah, when do we start?
And then the same question on to you, Daniel. What drew you to the script besides being the big bad?
Well, I think this one is actually very unique, I think. I mean, I know you and I talked a lot about other things, but this was very cool. I remember I was in Winnipeg doing Nobody 2, and I got a call from my buddy, Stani, who said, call me right away. And I go, what's up? He goes, listen, there's a movie I'm doing right now. I pitched you. They really, really like you, but you gotta know, we gotta know by tomorrow. I'm like, okay. So I read the script. I heard a lot about Will. I knew his films. I knew we have a lot of friends in common. Called some of my buddies, and everybody said, if you get a chance to work with Will, you got to do it. I knew about LaMonica. I'm a big fan of his work. So I was like, I read the script, and I mean, look at the part.
Yeah.
He is insane. He is crazy. It's and I've never played a character like this. I've played villains before, but usually it's like, the smaller part, but this is like the main guy. So Will
Yeah.
gave me the main guy. Thank you, my
Yeah.
brother Will.
Yeah.
Same,
Don't have any other
same.
way.
So that's how it came about for me.
And then, Will, what inspired you to write this?
Well, um, the original idea came from my collaborator, Paul Reichel, my writing partner. And the theme of it, his, idea uh, of a man going in to rescue family in the middle of a war, that sounded like there was a lot of really solid drama and an opportunity to get into relationships and the things important to me, family, loyalty, brotherhood, sacrifice, all those kinds of things.
And it does live up to all of your other films as well. Uh, I messaged you on the night of. I dragged my wife in to watch this as well, and I was like, because my wife is very much like, I know an action film, and I'm like, nah, 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 seeing this one here when Will's got a movie, watch the gunplay, man, and you've got it again. So what kind of training did you put LaMonica and even Daniel through just to get like the movements that you wanted correct?
Uh, I I've never worked with an AK on film before, or just in personal life. So that was my training with Max, our one of our tech guys. Just over and over, repetition, repetition, mag changes, different mag changes, opposite shoulders. But it was fun to learn it, and now I got it in my toolbox. But it was that was unique for this film. It's usually like these high powered, SIG spears that we use on other films and other TV shows. But the AK was something different. So every show and every TV, every movie that I do, like there's another aspect of something that I have to learn. So it's not all like just the, cookie cutter, wash, rinse, repeat. Like you have to figure some things out. And with this one, it was the first time doing big stunts, big fight sequences that Daniel helped me through. And I had to learn how to work this AK like I've been using it my whole life. So that was the challenge.
Yeah,
And
for me, it was I've been in the action world for a long time, and I'm very familiar with fighting and all of that. Gunplay as well, but not as well. So I was very grateful, like LaMonica was saying, we have this beautiful guy, Max, who was helping us. He's a former Israeli special ops guy, and we were actually joking on the break. We were all joking about we have a lot of friends in that community, and I love those guys. And and I've trained a lot for Logan, for Extraction, for John Wick. I've trained with a lot of the top guys. And once you see them perform, it's insane. I mean, like LaMonica was saying, I have it in my toolbox now, but I'm very new at it, I mean, I can kind of fake it for the camera, and I think I do a good job, but for me, it's difficult. I have to be honest. It's difficult, but I work very, very, very hard on it. 100 times reloading, another 100 times, you know, but I love doing it. I love gunplay.
I was going to say as well, having you sort of on team as well, Daniel, did that help? Well, did that help you, William, in like choreographing some of the fight scenes? Because the fight scene between Daniel and LaMonica, it's not like your flashy martial. It's basically two guys just trying to survive. It was unreal and brutal. I loved it.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean that was created by Ratza, our fight choreographer, and so they took what I put on the page and elevated it in a big way, and Stani, our stunt coordinator, and I think it was you said it, and we've been saying this amongst ourselves. It's like two bulls in a china shop, you
Yeah,
know. Real fighting is not you know that this is more my cup of tea, where it's sloppy and it's ugly and it's brutal, and these guys beat the hell out of each other, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like to say something to this real quick.
Yeah.
I think what was also very cool, like Will's direction was, I don't want to see like this flashy martial art movie. It has to make sense for the character. And I've learned this a long time ago from my mentor, Chad Stahelski. It has to make sense to the story and to our characters. LaMonica is a special forces guy. I'm a special forces guy. We don't start throwing high kicks and spinning hook kicks and all of that. No, every wrong move can kill you. And it was choreographed with, of course, the direction of Will by Stani and Razza, and everything was practical. There was
Yeah.
nothing wasted in this. Nothing wasted.
that's unreal.
Real. It's real.
So bumps and bruises were very much part of the shoot.
A lot of Epsom salt baths. A whole lot of Epsom salt baths.
So what was the shoot like? Because I've always said, like when you watch a William Kaufman movie, it always looks bigger than it is. I know William works on like these tight budgets, these tight schedules, but they come across so much better than like these A-list action movies. Like for instance, just off the top of my head of just going back through the movie, the fire sequence in itself, LaMonica, unreal. So like what was your time frame to shoot this movie, get everything put together?
We
We
had
had a
about,
tight. Oh, I'll let Will, yeah, go over that.
yeah, I'll just say we had about 24 days, which the people I look up to have like 90. Um, I mean, like the fourth sequence, that was 3 days, and that's probably collectively another 15 minutes of action. So, like what we've shared so far in the trailer is a fraction of what's in the movie, and I think what people will see is that I would say that was our biggest challenge, was the amount of action we had to do and the scope of that, from forest mountainsides trying to throw us down to all the stuff we shot in the city.
That's
And
unreal.
I like to say that's a testament to the crew in Bulgaria. Our crew
100%.
out there was next level. Like they were sharp, they were thinking ahead. There was no long drags in between turnarounds and camera moves or whatever it was. They were on top of it. Stani and Ratsa, our stunt guys, were just next level with it. There was no wasted movement. There was no fat on the bone. Like everything was done for a reason. Hair and makeup, like scripty. It was all next level, and it showed because you don't have a lot of room for error when you got 24, 25 days to shoot something this big.
Yeah. You know, I've worked on a lot of like bigger movies, and sometimes I'm just sitting there and I'm going like, what is happening? What is everybody doing? And like an hour goes by and nothing has happened, and you just go, and that didn't happen on this movie. I think Will and his team and his crew, because we know, I mean, we didn't have that much time, and you still had 24 days, which is fair, you know. But I think you were so organized, Will. You had such a tight team that what you shot it in 3 days on a big movie, this would have been 8 days, right? But we just worked harder and faster.
Yeah. And the actors that were cast on it, uh, with films of, like don't have all the resources and the big budgets, you get one or two takes. You don't get like, oh, let me see the monitor. No, let's do it again. And you're there for 2 or 3 hours on one scene. Like you get one, maybe two takes. Will's like, do you got it? I think we're good. And he'll say, let's move on. And it's that. So that's the biggest part for me with the big budget projects I work on with the small against the smaller budget projects. It's just like the actors have to be dialed in and on point, and it helps everybody else do their job as well.
And
Yeah.
I want to touch upon the writing of this as well, because people who are going in to see this, like from the trailers and all, it looks like good guy versus bad guy. But like the reason I actually love this was because LaMonica, it takes a good bit of the movie to actually like root for your character to a degree. Like he's very, very stubborn, where he's not the typical action hero. Like in without trying to give like too much away, the point where you're partnered up, I can't remember his name, but he's like, let's help these people, and you're like, nah, that's not my problem, and you continue on. Everyone's gonna be
Yeah.
screaming, just bloody help them.
That's a part of the script that jumped out to me. Not that scene, but just who this guy was. And to me, growing up, some of my favorite movies had what we call the reluctant hero. Not
Yeah.
the guy that's like, I want to show everyone I'm the greatest or I'm the baddest or I'm the guy that doesn't want to be there. Like I
Yeah.
can name a few movies off top of mind, like Russell Crowe in Gladiator. He didn't want to do all the stuff he was doing, but he had a I've got to avenge my family. That reluctant hero. Harrison Ford and all the, Return of the Jedi and Star Wars, he was there for the money. I'm not here for all the and he was one of my favorite characters. That person that doesn't want to be there but fights through anyway and goes and goes. And then over time, the growth of his character, because of Andrew, who he was opposite of, seeing how he's helping people, like he gave him his faith back in humanity. And that was a part of the script that pulled me in emotionally. He learned how to care again through this person that he thought was just there to show him how to get to the person he was trying to get to.
And then the same sort of thing goes for Daniel's character as well with the writing too. You play like one of the most hateful bad guys ever, and whenever you get your comeuppance, I was actually like, thank God it took long enough to get him.
Well, again, all my credit goes to Will, to the writing, first of all, giving me an incredible opportunity to play this part. So when I got the role, I read this part and I went like, oh my God, what an opportunity. So I met with Will and I said, Will, I have a crazy idea. And he goes, what is it? And I said, I want to play this guy. I want to play every scene like a love scene. He's not the bad guy. I want to be, he loves what he does. He's a psychopath, you
Yeah,
know? And I think I got the nicest compliment from Will. And I hope I can say this, Will, what
Go
you
for
told
it.
me about the editor. So I got a call from Will saying, hey, listen, my editor just called me and said, that's the creepiest bad guy I've seen in a long time. And that's a huge compliment, you know? That's correct, right, Will?
Yeah, the editor actually, she did all of your scenes, Sarah Kaufman.
Yeah.
She did all of your scenes. She goes, I would never do that again. I will never spend days in that evilness. So I would definitely have broken it up if I had known better. So
I mean,
I
to
can't wait
me,
to see this.
that was an incredible compliment. You know, I was like, damn, I mean, that's cool. You know, that's
yeah,
cool. And I
definitely
never
feel that.
watch what I do really. So I never go to Will and say, hey, show me the take. I just trust Will. I do it. I performed it for Will. We did a rehearsal and he goes, Yeah, that's weird. Do it.
And Jeff, me and Daniel haven't seen it yet.
Have
So
you?
we're just going,
I
no,
haven't
we have,
seen it.
well, yeah, we're going off memory of what we did and just knowing the script very well, but we haven't seen it. So we're all, I mean, we're going to see it premiere night. We're both waiting for that. But I
Oh,
remember these scenes.
it's amazing. Like I always, no pressure here, Will, but I always expect some top tier stuff whenever I watch one of Will's movies, and it delivers. I like there's so many action sequences in there that just deserve to just be on bigger screens, Like I've always pitched like my idea of Will doing like an Expendables reboot because like he's so ruthless that he would make them expendable.
That's a great idea, Will.
Yeah.
Well, one step at a time. Let's
Yeah. What do you say,
pass
Will?
next Friday. Next Friday.
It was a brilliant movie. Well, LaMonica and Daniel, I can't wait to hear your take. And hopefully you do like a social post or something on it so we can hear your take on the movie.
Absolutely.
LaMonica, on your front, maybe Daniel, but like, would you like to come back and like play this character again?
I would. I mean, I told Will that this is while we were shooting it, and I just see how it's turning out day to day. And you have that feeling when you're doing certain projects, like I think this is going to turn out well. Like we're getting our days, the scenes feel good, they seem real and authentic. And when we're done with it, I'm like, I think we need to see more of Mike Connor. Like, and the way it turned out and getting people's, responses to it, like it I'll find out, in the next few days and Will, his excitement level of it. It turned out great. So yeah, let's start the franchise, or we can do a prequel and we can bring Daniel's character back and opposite sides of the world to see how they met up and did that in the
Maybe
beginning.
there's a brother.
Hey, yeah,
Hey, bro, we
Maybe
don't know
there's
what happens to Daniel.
we
exactly.
don't.
No one's
Exactly.
seen
You
it
know,
yet.
You
And
didn't
it could
see
be
him
a
go
twin
down.
brother that loves killing even more than he does.
Yeah.
Ah,
maybe that's where you learn it from. But I got to give also shout out to our producers because I think it never happened in a film where LaMonica and I did our fight scene, and it was a very, very big fight scene, and we had a day to shoot the fight, and we had this incredible stunt team, and we didn't finish. And usually, what happens on every film, you just cut the fight, you just cut it down, because when we choreograph fights, they're always in pieces. Well, let's say we have like 12 pieces.
Yeah.
And then the fight coordinator goes, well, we got to cut piece 7, 8, and 9 and go to the ending. But the producers came up to us and they said, guys, we're giving you another half a day. I was like, you what? That I think it
yeah.
never happened. It never happened. Even I
And
swear to God, even on John Wick, on the first John Wick, we had to cut the fight. My first fight with Keanu, we had to cut half because we didn't have time. We got another 6 hours to finish our fight, and I will never ever forget that. That was very
Daniel,
special.
in real time when we were doing that, and Will says this fight, like we've been working this whole movie up to this, what's happening right here. We need to give it more time. And Daniel has a lot more experiences in these type of films than I do. He told me in real time, like, man, that never happens. Usually they just cut it. Or
Yeah.
they got to move on and get, the dialogue and get all the other stuff. But what just happened right now is unique.
Uh,
And, it sounds like it paid off in the final cut of the film where these guys were able to just go at it and you see it really unfold.
The movie
And
is.
and
Oh, sorry.
LaMonica, just so you know, Daniel has seen this fight.
Oh,
I've
has
only
it?
seen the fight. The fight I've seen
Oh, okay.
because I had to do ADR because I always do ADR for
Oh,
my
yeah, yeah, yeah.
sounds. So the
Yeah.
fight I've seen, that's all I've seen.
And it's a good fight.
That's a good fight. It's one of my favorite fights I've done.
And it's a dirty fight. It's not a like we were saying
Gnarly.
before. These two martial artists were just blocking and doing all this. Like I think about to the Born Identity where they were in the bathroom just messy and dirty and just survival. And
Yes.
that's what these two guys were. They're survival guys, and they whatever you can use around you to finish this fight quickly, but it didn't happen that way.
Guys, I really can't wait for the world to see this movie. Just to sum it up, LaMonica goes full flat out terminal list, crazy Navy SEAL sort of stuff. Daniel plays the creepiest, most villainous bad guy you have ever seen, quite psychotic, and you'll love to see it. And William puts his balls on the table for his hat in Extraction 3 and the Expendables reboot. So go
Hell yeah.
support this movie and let's see how it does. Guys, thank you for your time and best of luck with this movie.
Thank
Hell
you,
yeah.
Jeff.
Thank you, brother.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. See
Really,
you later.
really appreciate it.